Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name is Patrick,
And I'm Olivia.
and welcome to Crash Course Modern World History.
The first thing we'll cover today is the Palace of Versailles. We will finish with the French Revolution.
And now, for our first lesson, let's go down to the Modern World History room to our Crash Course correspondence.
The Palace of Versailles was built by Louis XIV on his grandfather's hunting grounds.
Before it was built, the Palace of Versailles consisted of marshland and swamps, and the land was quite unsuitable for building of any kind. However, determined in his ways, King Louis XIV dug up the ground and created a magnificent palace which in the end was extremely detrimental to France's economy. And back to me, of course, Versailles housed the nobles and royalty who were a requisite part of France's central administration. As well as housing newborn governmental employees, the Palace of Versailles held the newborn kings and queens which resided in the palace later in life. Therefore, the Palace of Versailles, up here located in France, was the epicenter of France's government and the central administration, which controlled many aspects of French people and the three estates. Now, continuing on the topic of the Palace of Versailles, from a more specific perspective, we will analyze how the palace was intertwined with the French Revolution and King Louis XVI. The Palace of Versailles, built around the 18th century once again, was a hugely important location which often symbolized the economic struggles and imbalances which France faced. It was the center for France's government and central administration, and represented a powerful yet flawed monarchy. Socially, Versailles' lavish looks and architecture versus the incredibly cramped conditions of Paris illustrated a division in social class and the stark contrast between poverty found in Paris and overflowing wealth found there. Finally, Versailles marked the location of one of, if not the most influential events in French history, the French Revolution. Overall, in terms of important Crash Course Modern World History themes, Versailles ties it all back to an important idea, the idea of an incredible rift in wealth. Although we will cover this topic later in the Crash Course Modern World History ending clip, an economic rift between multiple social classes was often a significant cause of revolution and often the downfall of an empire. However, before we run out of time, let's go more in depth to King Louis XVI and how he connects to all of these themes.
King Louis was born at the Palace of Versailles and soon inherited a kingdom of problems. When he was 15 years old, he married Marie Antoinette, daughter of the Emperor and Empress of Austria. This marriage was intended to create an alliance between France. Louis ineffectively ruled, and the people grew unhappy. His wife Marie, or as the public knew her, Madame Deficit, spent large amounts of money and struggled with producing an heir to the throne. In an attempt to solve the problems, Louis called the meeting of the three estates. As tensions rose, Louis XVI was forced to call the three estates general. His reign was characterized by political distress and poverty or lack of income within the subjects. After weeks of debate, the Third Estate took a surprising step to secede from the Estates General and to become the National Assembly. A new constitution was formed under the National Assembly, which was to be known by its location within the indoor tennis courts. Tensions began to rise shortly following this meeting, and on July 14, 1789, members of the Third Estate, or a Parisian crowd, attacked the Bastille for weapons and gained control of the massive prison. Actions and violence only escalated from there. The tension in France became a revolution, and in 1793 the National Assembly found Louis guilty of treason and sentenced him to death by guillotine. Before his death, he stated,
I die innocent, I pardon my enemies, and hope that my blood will be useful to the French, that it will appease God's anger. Now that we've covered these topics, let's go over a quick overview of the themes we've learned this year and connect them.
The Palace of Versailles was home to some of the most important events in world history. King Louis XVI's rule was a catalyst for French Revolution, and his death symbolized the end of an era. The main cause for the fall of King Louis's kingdom was economic. Because of the disconnect between social classes, the royals lived a lavish lifestyle while the rest of the kingdom suffered. The Palace of Versailles allowed royalty to escape from reality. Its magnificent gardens and decadent halls gave the illusion that France had all the money in the world, when in reality the country was in a severe state of debt and poverty, especially when it concerned the Third Estate. Because the Third Estate was everyone except for the clergy and royalty, it made up most of the population, and the magnitude of this disconnect between the estates even greater. Not only in France had wealth disparity and disconnect between classes caused problems. Similar problems are seen between the colonies in North America and Great Britain, as there was an entire ocean between government and the people in America. Like the French, the disconnect led to revolution.